next tip of the week. Today we're going to focus on prehab of our knee joint as well as hip strengthening exercises that translate into basketball. Now with your knee joint, you want to make sure it's stabilized. So we're going to focus on a few different muscles, but the most important muscle you want to do with your prehab for your knee joint is your vastus medialis, which is also called your VMO. Your VMO is located on the inside of your knee. It's also called the teardrop muscle. This really helps stabilize the inside of your knee. I want to introduce our demonstrator today. This is Ken. Ken is one of my trainers in Taiwan that'll be expanding our company in Taiwan. So thanks, Ken, for coming out. Our first exercise that strengthens the VMO in the knee joint area is the single leg flexion balances. You're going to stand erect on one foot with the other foot behind you off the ground slightly. Repeat small knee flexion bends back to straight knee balances. You're going to try to repeat 50 of these mini flexions in a row. It looks very simple, but it's very good in strengthening the knee joint. Okay, if you have access to a weight room and you have some of our O-bands, you can do the same exercise but attach any type of band around a structure and it'll give you a little bit more resistance, which will make it a little bit harder. I've also seen people put towels around the person's knee and a partner will hold them, giving them resistance. All right, so trust me, after about 30, 40 of these, you're really going to feel it starting to burn around that joint. And again, that's strengthening the joint. Our next exercise is the elevated rear split squat. What Ken's going to do is he's going to walk forward and he's going to put his back foot on an elevated surface. He's going to put his toe on top and he's going to do little squats, split squats. All right, he put his hands to his side and he's going to go down to 90 and back up. And he's going to repeat. This puts a lot of pressure on that front VMO as well as the quadriceps muscles. You want to make sure that his knee never goes in front of his toes. So if we get the camera here, go ahead and stop down there, Ken. The knee should never go in front of the toe. If his knee gets going forward, if we do it wrong, it puts too much pressure on the patella tendon. So we got to make sure the knee stays back and we put all of our weight, go ahead, on your quadriceps and the VMO muscle. If you want to get a little bit more progression, you want to add weights. 10, 15, 20 pounds, you'll perform the same split squat, but now he's got a little external weight, so if you want to add a little bit more resistance and overload, go all the way down to 90, Ken. There you go. If it's too much, just use no weight, that's completely okay. Yeah. Our next movement is the side step lunge or the crisscross lunge. All right, what he's going to do, he's going to put one foot behind the other at a 90-degree angle. He's going to keep his weight more on the front foot than the back foot. The back foot will be on the toes more. He'll move slowly down, and faster on the way up. Slow down. Your knee should touch the ground, your back knee. So notice when he's doing this exercise, I lift the short up, right? All this weight is coming here on his VMO muscle. This is what we're trying to target in order to protect the inside of the knee. For more of a progression, of course, you can add the weights, add dumbbells to it, add a small amount, give him more resistance on his crisscross lunge. Our next exercise is a step up. He's going to put his right foot on the bench and he's going to step up to the erect position and lock his leg out. The opposite leg, which is left, is just going to come up and touch, just barely touch the bench and then bring it back down to the floor. You're going to repeat about 20 exercises. Really focus on locking out that leg and that VMO muscle. Of course, to add more resistance, he can add dumbbells into the equation. All right, the next one is our step overs. Same as before, but this time he's going to step up, lock his leg, touch his toe, and then step over to the front. He's then going to step back into his original position. You want to repeat this about 20 times, so up and back counts as one. Notice again, he's locking out his knee on both positions. Our next one is our single leg raises. What Ken's going to do, he's going to lay his shoulders on the back of the bench. He's going to put his right leg at 90. He's going to lift his left leg off the ground. Notice his hips are sagging. He's then going to go up, lock his hips, back down. Up, lock his hips, back down. Up, lock his hips, back down. He's going to repeat that action. And what he's doing is he's strengthening not only his VMO and his leg joints, but also his right hamstring as well as his gluteus maximus. Our next exercise is the single leg extensions. Now this is just your typical curl machine, your leg curl machine. And then what's going to happen, our extension machine, what you're going to do now is he's going to go one leg at a time and he's going to make sure his toe is pointing out, which is going to make his VMO active. He's then going to go up, fast, and hold it. So notice when he holds it here, the muscle here is engaged. He goes down slow, goes up fast, hold it, and he's just isolating that VMO muscle rather than just doing quick quadriceps movements. He's going to repeat about 10 to 15 and really isolating that knee joint and strengthening. Our next exercise is the single leg squat. Now what he's going to do is he's going to have a tennis ball in his hand. He's going to squat down, his other foot is going to go behind him, and he's going to touch the tennis ball to the ground and try to balance his position while he's doing his squat. Now notice when he's doing this position, he's going to try to keep his shoulders as straight up as possible. And try not to bend down. We want to sink the hips down, touch the ball, so that he's usually mostly isolating just the knee joint muscle. For another variation, you can use a Bosu ball if you have access to a weight room. So he's going to do the same drills. He's going to bounce on the Bosu ball, which now will add a balance factor and a ankle joint flexibility as well. So he's going to try to balance himself. There he goes. Come back up. All right, a little bit more difficult. All right, if you have access, this is a great exercise. All right, the next exercise, you should probably have a partner, or make sure you put your box where you can hold a pole. As you get stronger, you won't need a partner. What he's going to do now is he can put his hand on my shoulder, and he's going to go single leg squat, drop his leg straight down, chest up, and he's going to drop straight down and back up. All right, he can assist with my shoulder, go all the way down. So what he's doing is he's isolating those quadricep muscles, hamstring, and all that weight is strengthening the knee joint. Amazing exercise to develop strength as well as prehab for injury. All right. All right, so now we're going to move to more of explosive movements. Now, once you've kind of mastered the stability of the basic prehab movements, you want to start doing more movement patterns, which will help not only your athleticism, but also continually strengthening the knee joint muscles. Our first explosive movement is the lateral ski jumps. He's going to jump from side to side, as far as he can. He's going to put his back leg behind. He's going to continue this movement and explosively learn to land, strengthen the joint, as well as exploding off it with his leg muscles. He's going to repeat that for about 25-30 seconds. If he wants to add weight, he can add a physio ball or a medicine ball to him, and that'll add some resistance as well. Our next explosive movement is our split jumps. He's going to start in a split position with his back foot digging into the mat. His front foot is going to be wide enough to where his knee is never in front of his toe. His hands are at his side. He's then going to go 15 reps. He's going to jump, his arm's going to go up, and he's going to repeat fast. Reaching for the sky. He's going to go down, his knee's barely going to touch the ground. All that load is on his front knee joint and that VMO muscle and his quadriceps, and he's going to repeat the movement. All right, the next one is the scissor jumps. It's the same as a split jump, but this time he's going to alternate his feet on every single jump. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. So he wants to try to get 30 so that he gets about 15 on each leg. Notice he's trying to reach for the sky, and he's going to explosively jump. Our next one is the scissor kicks. It's the same as a split jump, but as he jumps, this time he will kick his legs forward like he's performing scissor jumps, but immediately bring them back to the original position. This one is much more difficult, and you're going to try to get 10 on each leg. All right, so now we're going to move on to the hip joint. We're going to show you a few exercises that can really strengthen your hip joint, which is really hard to get to do if you don't know how to isolate them. So if you come here, you're going to see Ken is going to be on his hands and knees. He's going to have his knees together. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to provide just light resistance. He's going to do what we call adduction. It's called adduction. He's going to try to move with resistance his feet wide as he can while keeping his knees together. Go ahead, kid. Go. He goes out. Now, when he's out, now I get resistance in, go, in. That's called abduction, abduction, out. Hard. In. Get in. So we're really isolating out the hip joint. In. All right, our next exercise is called hip pulls. He's going to land his back. I'm going to take it and I'm going to cradle it underneath my arm here. When I say in, he's going to bring his knee to his chest. So his front hip flexor is going to be engaged, and I'm going to provide resistance. Here we go. In. Relax. In. Good. In. So right here, his hip right here, in, is really engaging all that power. In. Excellent. All right, next exercise is abduction and adduction pushes. What's going to happen now, he's going to lay on his back, and he's going to fold his knee over just like your typical stretch. I'm going to place my hand on the outside of his knee, and he's going to go adduction. I'm going to hold it, ready, and go. Pull all the way across, and I go inside of his knee and abduction. Go. Back inside, and repeat, go. We're isolating the outside and the inside of him. Go. With that movement. Our next one is yoga holds. He's going to get on his hands and knees. Ken is going to point one leg up and straight back and hold it. When I say swing, swing, he's going to hold it parallel to the ground and swing it as far as he can out. Keep his head straight. He wants to keep his shoulders straight, and he's trying to get this as far as he can for hip flexibility and strength. He's going to hold that for about 15-20 seconds, and he's going to start cramping up here in a second, and down. Ready? Up, swing. Great exercise to strengthen that hip joint. All right, the next one is hip throws. Now this exercise really tests how strong your hips are and explosive. Now Ken's never done this before. I've done it many times, so you'll probably end up seeing a difference between myself and him. I'm going to take this 5-pound ball, it's about 5 pounds. I'm going to put it between my feet. I'm going to jump and bring both legs up so that the ball is coming towards my crotch area. And then I'm going to flick the ball with my hip strength, and I'm going to do a chest pass to Ken. All right, here we go. Go ahead. Notice, Ken's having problems bringing up to his hip. He's got to get stronger hips, and he's got to explode. And explode the ball to the person's chest. Alright? Bring those knees up. You're trying to really throw the ball through your partner. Alright, so now we're going to work on dynamic hip exercises with a physio ball. What I'm sitting on is a physio ball. If you do not have one, they're very inexpensive. You should have one in your room. The amount of exercises you can do to strengthen up your hips and flexibility are endless. Let's take a look at some. All right, the first exercise is hip twists. He's going to lay in his bridge position, 90-degree angles, move your feet up just a little bit. 90-degree angles, his butt's off the ground. Arms are back, something heavy helps a little bit, you don't have to. And what he's going to do, when I say go, he's going to fire his hip, just like on a crossover basketball, and he's going to turn and twist each direction. Ready? Fire, twist, back straight, twist, twist, twist. So if we focus down here, he's working on firing. If you can look down here, the hip here, and he's twisting. About 20 reps. Twist, twist, fire the head, twist, twist. Little hip twists. All right, the next one we're going to do is double knee circles. He's going to put his knees in the center, his feet are in the air. His hands have got to be close to the ball, or he won't be able to do it. He's going to circle the ball, circular motion, all the way down to a flat position, and he's going to be working the hip joint in order to move the ball. All right, ready? Go. Circle around, see what you can do. It's good for balance, great for hip strength. We'll go about 10 repetitions clockwise and 10 repetitions counterclockwise. All right, the next one is the single knee. This one we're going to isolate this time in one knee. So you're going to isolate one hip. Much more difficult to do. Same thing, I put my knee in the center of the ball, and I'm going to lift my other leg, and I'm going in circles. Big circles here. Notice how I keep my other leg off the ground. If I go this direction, you can see, and it's off the ground. Off the ground. I'm isolating the hip, keeping my hands close to the ball. All right, the next exercise is adductor, abductor. He's going to stay with one knee, other leg is up. I'm going to hold it for a second. He's going to fold and go sideways and fight it, and then go abduction, adduction, in, and out. The whole time, though, he's isolating that left hip. All right, let's see how he does. Here we go. One side leg. In, out. Great job. Great isolation exercises for the hip flexors. All right, the next exercise is leg pulls. This is for your hamstring. but also some part of your hips. I'm going to lay down here with my arms to the side. I'm going to put both feet on top of the ball. 2's easier than 1. We'll start with 2. I'm going to lift my bridge up, butt up, and I'm going to go in, out. Notice my bottom never touches the ground. Now, as you get better, you're going to go single legs, which is much more difficult. This time, I'm going to put one leg up, bridge, in, out, twice as hard, really isolates the hamstring and builds up the strength in your mid-core as well. All right, the next exercise I call giving birth. Real difficult exercise, strength and core for the hips and core. He's going to lay down here, Ken is, he's going to put the ball between his feet. You could use a basketball, but the physio ball widens it up, which makes it more hips. He's going to put his arms pushing against the ground, and he's going to do big sweeping circles. All right, here we go, Ken. Big sweeping circles. All the way to the ground. All the way to the ground. Good. We're going to try to go 10 clockwise, 10 counterclockwise. Switch directions. Switch directions. That way. Good, Ken. All the way around. Great. All right, the next stability exercise you can do is in between sets. You can do what we call knee balances. You've got to have a balanced core. That comes from the hips as well. So you're going to get on the physio ball on your knees, and you're just going to stand just like this. Now, you might not be able to do this yet, but you've got to be extremely balanced and squeezing here. When you get good, you should be able to play catch with physio balls. You're here playing catch, and you should never get off balance because I'm firing my hips right now. All right? If I get off balance, I fire. All right? Also, as you get better, you can exercise on this, or you can start going back and forth, front and back. It's just stability exercise you can do in order to really show how balanced your core will be. Another great stability one for your joints is a bridge, single leg bridge. So I'm going to get my bridge position, which is here. You learned this before. This is my bridge position. Not sagging hips, the bridge. But now I'm going to dig one heel in, and I'm going to have one leg go straight. So I'm going to bounce with my hands, and I'm going to hold it, try to hold for 30 seconds. Alright? Looks easy, extremely difficult. Hold it for 30 seconds, switching legs. Alright? Really helps build up the hip area, the gluteus maximus, and also great for your balance. Now, ankle joint is another joint that you really want to prehab. If you've noticed, or if you haven't seen it yet, go check out my YouTube video channel or my blog, and you'll see that we have a whole series on how to prevent ankle sprains. Thanks a lot for your time. Hope this video was helpful, and good luck.